Alpine has announced that it's parting ways with Esteban Ocon at the end of the season, but merely changing drivers will not be enough to get Team Enstone back to the front of Formula 1. Team principal Bruno Famin is under no illusion of the challenge it faces, but not wanting to look back on past mistakes may not help its case, and only that, it might lead to the worst downfall of an F1 team in history. Esteban Ocon and Alpine will part ways at the end of the 2024 Formula 1 season, with Ocon promising to announce his 2025 plans very soon. This news comes just over a week after Ocon made headlines for all the wrong reasons in Monaco, where he collided with his Alpine teammate Pierre Gasly on the first lap. Ocon's aggressive move down at the inside of Gasly at Portier ended his race, despite a subsequent red flag stoppage, leading team boss Bruno Famin to threaten consequences after the race. In the days following the incident, Ocon took to social media to defend himself against the abuse and negativity he received. Now, a week after their clash, Alpine and Ocon have announced their decision to part ways at the end of the current season. It's been a significant period of my life to be racing at this team in Formula 1. While I've been here for 5 years as a full-time racing driver, my professional career started at Enstone back when I was a teenager, so it will always be a special place for me, Ocon said. We have had some great moments together, some tough moments as well, and I am certainly grateful to everyone on the team for these memorable times. I will announce my plans very soon, but in the meantime, my full focus is on delivering on track for this team and having a successful remainder of the season. Famin thanked Ocon for his commitment to the team for the past 5 years and highlighted Ocon taking his first, and so far only, Grand Prix victory with the team in Hungary in 2021. We still have 16 races to complete in 2024, together with a clear objective to continue to work tirelessly as a team to push for the best on-track results, he continued. We wish Esteban the very best for the next chapter of his driving career when that moment comes. This move was expected, with Ocon as a target of the soon-to-be Audi Works team, Sauber, and a candidate for the vacancies at Haas and Williams. The exact timing comes as something of a surprise though, but it's not thought to be connected to Famin's consequences claim. Even before his aggressive move on teammate Pierre Gasly took him out of the 2024 Monaco Grand Prix, it was evident that Esteban Ocon's relationship with Alpine had changed. This is the same Ocon-Alpine duo that sensationally won the 2021 Hungarian GP with significant help from former teammate Fernando Alonso. Before the Monaco race began, Ocon only vaguely hinted at his future with the blue-black team post-2024, saying that if you do a good job on track, there should be nothing stopping you in the future. His lack of enthusiasm for his employer was most evident in the cramped press room. Earlier in 2024, Alpine insiders noted that Ocon's exuberant celebrations after escaping Q1 at the Australian and Japanese races were not well received internally. This situation reflects the difficult position Alpine found itself in as the season began. After Gasly warned during the A524's February launch that they might just need to be a little bit more patient, testing showed the car to be slow and overweight. What Ocon and Gasly had noticed in December simulation sessions was becoming a reality. A week later in Bahrain, Alpine announced the departures of technical director Matt Harmon and head of aerodynamics Dirk de Beer. At the first round, the Alpine drivers occupied the last row of the grid. Despite expecting a tough start, team principal Bruno Famin still described the result as a shock. With Harmon and de Beer gone, Famin claimed that they said that Dirk and Matt had resigned, but if they resigned, we knew or we understood that we will not continue together anyway. A technical department reshuffle followed. Famin implemented a 3-pillared model with technical directors Joe Bonnell for engineering, David Wheater for aerodynamics, and Kieran Pilbeam for performance. And Famin called this a much more horizontal organisation to enable everybody to bring their own skills and ideas. Then suddenly the chance to bolster that technical team further appeared. David Sanchez, the former head of Ferrari Vehicle Concept, was available for immediate employment. This was just 4 months after he had joined McLaren as its technical director. But when Sanchez was deemed more senior than the Orange team's own 3-pillared technical department apparently warranted, Per McLaren team principal Andrea Stella, the relationship fizzled out after just 3 months, but McLaren didn't stand in the Frenchman's way to re-sign with another squad immediately, and so Famin made contact very quickly. 3 races on from Sanchez's Alpine arrival being announced ahead of the Miami event, he's had time to evaluate Enstone's facilities and operating strengths and weaknesses. Famin said at Imola that Sanchez had identified some very weak points, but good people too. For those he joined at Enstone, Famin insisted there was nothing new in such points, but his feeling is that Sanchez possesses a very accurate view of what will help to go faster. In the same time frame, Alpine also scored 2 points finishes in Miami and Monaco, 1 point each from Ocon and Gasly, elevating it above scoreless Sauber in the Constructors' Championship. Famin feels these are symbolic of the efforts Alpine has enacted since the scale of its tough 2024 challenge was revealed. Famin's plan now is to unleash as much potential in the A524 in the summer's opening weeks. This is before the 2026 chassis rules are revealed by the FIA imminently. After that point, and reflecting what paddock sources suggest will be an expected grid-wide trend of evolution car designs in 2024 as a result, Alpine will switch as much of its resources as possible to nailing the start of F1's next new era. But given Alpine's lowly Constructors' Championship position and the millions of dollars in prize money that will mean forfeiting if it remains 9th compared to the 6th, 4th and 5th secured since 2021, will that satisfy Renault CEO Luca De Meo? He made a rare appearance in the Jeddah paddock at the start of the season to see the race team's struggles firsthand. When reports surfaced post-Suzuka in April suggesting that Alpine was possibly up for sale with the condition that a new owner retained Renault engines, these were hotly refuted. However, this hasn't stopped the rumours from continuing to swirl in the F1 paddock. Meanwhile, the Andretti organisation remains on the outside looking for a way in, with discussions about raising F1's dilution fund contributions to $600 million for new teams wanting in for 2026, and then to $700 million from 2028. The idea of paying closer to $1 billion for a guaranteed entry and existing facilities suddenly seems more reasonable. However, Renault would still need to agree to sell. Additionally, Alpine faces a significant driver lineup problem to solve. Following Ocon's Monaco misstep, it was announced that he would depart at the end of the season. Despite this, a driver with considerable interest from both Haas and Sauber will remain in the car for Canada. With both current drivers out of contract at the season's end, Alpine cannot remain stationary in the hyperactive 2024 driver market, despite team boss Bruno Famin insisting that they want to take their time. Gasly appears secure where he is already, but is desirable for other teams if their preferred options don't work out. Then there's Alpine's roster of academy drivers, including F1 reserve Jack Doan and Mick Schumacher. The former Haas F1 racer is currently impressing Alpine at its World Endurance Championship hypercar squad. Famin praised Mick and didn't rule out the possibility to resign him for 2025, and acknowledged his mindset to adapt to endurance races. The emphasis Famin places on such an approach is obvious, with little else to talk about given the team's current car plight and with F1's notoriously long lead times for enacting actual change. It's a sensible plan, but at the same time, elements of what Famin says clash with traditional motorsport outlooks. But the intent is clear here. Only future success matters for Alpine, but throughout its time since Renault brought back the team for 2026, that message has been offered time and time again. And with Famin refusing to publicly acknowledge the team's previous failings, this presents a concern. All will be forgotten if his plan comes off, but Alpine has to get there first. What do you think? Will Alpine sort out their issues? Let us know down in the comments below, and we'll see you soon in the next video.